Welcome to Fearless Friday, and if you're new to the channel, you will know that every week I go live and I talk about something called activation energy. For me, there is three key pillars to creating activation energy, and that is mindset, personal branding, and business strategy. When you are able to work on these three elements, you are able to create the activation energy for success, move forward either in your life, your business, or your career, and truly see success and results. Every month, I choose a topic, and throughout the month, every week, I cover these three key pillars. This month, my topic is fear of rejection and how imposter syndrome can prevent you from moving forward. So this week, the first week of the month, we're talking about mindset. So the topic is why imposter syndrome is keeping you from truly seeing your self-worth. Let's get started. So it's not who you are that holds you back, but it's who you think you're not. Because at the end of the day, the question isn't if you'll struggle with imposter syndrome, it is when. Even the people you assume have all the confidence in the world are worried that they aren't expert enough, experienced enough, or good enough. But what is imposter syndrome if we break it down? I believe it is actually the fear of rejection. Why do I say this? The things that we feel when we are experiencing imposter syndrome is a deep-based fear that what we have to offer isn't good enough. Therefore, will be rejected by those that we are offering it to. And let's face it, rejection hurts. It is powerful enough to prevent us from doing something to avoid that hurt. In fact, studies show that rejection appears to activate the same regions in the brain that physical pain does. Because we all want to belong, whether this is in a relationship, at a job, within a friendship circle. We want to be part of the group and we want to fit in. So we draw back and rather hide our value in case it gets rejected by those around us. When I notice this line of thinking in myself or my clients, I try to simplify things so I don't get carried away with self-doubt. Instead of trying to prove to myself that I'm qualified, even though I do have a great exercise and excellent ways of building up my credibility markers, but despite that, instead of trying to prove to myself that I'm qualified or that people care or trying to talk myself into moving forward, I ask myself one question. Do I have something that will resonate with or help other people? Let me repeat that. Do I have something to offer that will resonate with or help other people? I don't ask myself if I'm the only person for the job or the best person for the job. I don't ask myself if I have something to offer everyone. I simply ask myself if I have something to offer at all that can help one person. When the answer is yes, or even the whisper of a yes, I know I have to move forward. So yes, some other fears might come into play here, such as fear of failure and fear of success. But today I want to focus on fear of rejection because we want to move forward, and I'm talking about more in next week's training as well when we're building our personal brand. So once we realize that you, me, are holding yourself back from moving forward and creating activation energy, it is important to start looking at how you can overcome the fear of rejection and imposter syndrome that is holding you back. So start by asking yourself these questions. Do I hold myself to impossibly high or unrealistic standards? And do I focus on my failure and mistakes rather than my achievements? Do I downplay my achievements and results? Do I feel inadequate or doubt myself despite having results and evidence to the contrary? Do I feel that others might see that I am not good enough? If you answered yes to any of these questions, imposter syndrome is definitely alive in you, and it might be preventing you from moving forward, seeing success, and achieving the real results that you want. There's also a lot of negative self-talk that comes with these feelings, and if you haven't done so yet, go sign up for my free 5-day email course where we talk about activation energy, and I help you get started on your thought focus so that you can focus on the self-talk and how you can change the narrative in your mind to see success. The link for that will be in the comments. So in order to overcome fear of rejection and imposter syndrome, you need to recognize some key triggers. Once you can see this, you can develop a clearer action plan for building self-worth. Rejection can be any form of not having your idea, your input, your work accepted in the way that you want. So accepted in the way that you want here means that it didn't go 100% according to what you wanted or how you wanted it, and thus you could potentially feel that it was rejected. And therefore, any feedback or changes you are going to see all as rejections. So for example, if you've given an idea for a new campaign to your boss, they've listened to it, they've taken it, maybe they've changed it a bit, you might feel like your idea was rejected because it's not your initial idea anymore. But yet, you still provided value, you still gave input. It just doesn't look the way you thought it would look. That doesn't mean it was rejected. So some triggers of rejection can be, and these do manifest in varying degrees of severity and exactness, but they are: you think about how other people see you and assume that that is negative. Any form of rejection makes you believe that you can't really achieve your dreams. Anytime you feel rejected, you think about how you must not seem interesting or worthwhile to other people. The rejection leaves you thinking that you aren't intelligent, talented, or capable. Being rejected leads you to imagine how disappointing you are to the people you care about. You work hard to make people have low expectations of you so they won't expect you to succeed. Experiences of rejection make you believe that there is nothing you could have done to create a different outcome. When you're going to do something that might lead to rejection, physical symptoms of anxiety, such as stomach pains and tension headaches, sometimes stop you from doing that. If it is possible you will end up feeling rejected, you find other things or tasks to do to help you avoid taking that risk. Or you find excuses to remove yourself from circumstances where you might feel rejected, telling yourself you have no other choice. So these are a few triggers. These are things that can come up as you're trying to move forward, achieving your dreams and goals, that will prevent you from moving forward because immediately you're afraid of being rejected. So now we can see how imposter syndrome and the fear of rejection is appearing in our lives. Now we need to understand the power it has over us, and it's holding us back from truly achieving our potential. So to stop it from holding you back, and so that you can clear the path to the things that are truly important, I'm going to go through a few things that you can start thinking about, an exercise that you can do to help you prevent it slipping away from you, the thing that you want most. So, look at what the fear is preventing you from doing. What are the results from not moving forward? And are you prepared to keep sacrificing the good things you could get to stay safe from the fear? What you focus on will grow. So where do you want to focus your energy? On the fear or moving forward and seeing even greater results? We will always be able to come up with excuses to prevent us from doing the things that scare us. But what are you withholding from yourself by staying scared? What can you learn from the rejection and mistakes so it can move you forward to the new opportunities? Because when we do face rejection, what can we then change to do differently instead? This also does show us what we maybe don't want so that we can move forward into what we do want. Then you can deep dive the fear of rejection with the following questions. Is it more important that you stay safe or more important that you have a go? How will your life be different if you get what you want? What will happen if you get rejected? Who will care? And how important is that to you? What would it be like to give up right now and make the decision to stay safe? What will you miss out on? And understand the full consequences of your decisions, and remember that not making your decision is still a decision. Another way you can look at it to help you not let fear hold you back is to actually let the fear win. So stay with me for a second here. But when we decide whether or not to take a risk, we spend our time between what it would be like to get what we want and what it would be like to be rejected. But this is all speculation. What we don't do is feel what it would feel like to not take the chance at all. The force to move comes from fully experiencing what is. Deciding not to take the risk will help you see what it could be like. Decide to let go of what you want and spend more time fully experiencing what that is like. Walk away, turn your back and feel it, really feel it. Because it's very unlikely that if something is really important to you, deciding to walk away without fighting for it, it will feel really bad. So bad that you will be motivated to take the chance. Because as bad as rejection is, giving up something you really want will feel worse. Now, the last thing you need to focus on is trust. Trust your capacity to cope, trust in your capacity to win, trust your abilities, and trust your own instincts. Because even when we do get rejected, we can overcome it and we can move forward from that. So if you can start by working through these points, you can start moving forward and conquering your fear of rejection and imposter syndrome. It is important to realize that what we have to offer and the difference you can make holds value, and it's important to see how that can help you build a business. And when you can build a business, you can start looking at how you can add additional income streams into that business. And yes, the business is you. Because with this, we see how the fear of rejection is holding us back from truly building ourselves as a successful business. And it starts with how to sell ourselves. When we can't sell what we have to offer if we think what we have to offer isn't good enough, right? So next week, I talk more about how when we overcome the fear of rejection, we can start building our personal brand and sell ourselves to others so that you can start making money and creating that additional income stream I talked about in a few videos back. Because when we overcome our fears and we see our true potential, we really are able to step into our power and live a fearless life.